My Cudamant.
You gotta take your pills. I better take one if I remember dying. Yeah. Lord Rose knows all these medications that I take.
Today is what? Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday is 26th,
Well, I didn't even take these in the morning.
Oh, yeah, so last night if you got them all set up.
Yeah, well, I won't.
See, I took my
I'll
heart
miss
medicine
them,
already.
but I'll take the Cudamant. I mean, it won't hurt if you miss like one, you know. But I'll take this here. I wouldn't want to open it.
It's
Oh,
already
did you
open.
open? Oh,
No, it's
did
halfway gone. I do
I don't know. He can find everything faster than I can, and I'm living in this house, and he finds everything.
I'm a snooper.
And how
She said, what are you doing? What are you doing? She caught me emptying ice trays.
You had the camera going there, gonna watch TV.
Yeah, they told me after the radiation, probably take some club soda, that might be able to get it down. And the butter taste, I mean, the water tastes real bitter. Now here the water tastes pretty good, but up there it tastes real. Are you gonna?
No, I'm just gonna wipe them off. That's all.
Are you gonna throw them away?
Wipe them off and dry them up.
Oh my God, use them again.
No, because I mean they're not dirty or nothing. We just laid a sandwich on them. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, how about some of this cheesecake?
I can't do
No,
it
you can
anymore.
eat that. Can
One
you?
bite.
Can't eat
One
it.
bite.
Alright. I'll go.
How about
I
it?
can't eat it.
That's good.
If I could, I would. I can't.
We kill the rest of it.
I know it's cheesecake with no body to it. You know what I mean? It withers away.
Yeah,
It's a little bit,
melts in your mouth,
It's
really.
like it's made out of cream cheese.
You eat the whole thing, and it'll fill you up. You'll be surprised. Yeah, it'll fill you up.
Are you gonna sit down?
Huh?
Why don't you sit down?
No, this is still washing that.
Are you still on? I was gonna do
Oh,
some
no, see,
recording.
that's on all day long.
Oh, man.
Jag, yeah.
So we're gonna get
But
out
I
of it.
didn't, but I couldn't get nothing out of it because I didn't know, I didn't see it from the beginning, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we gotta put the car out front.
Huh?
I was wanting to tell me some of the early stories so I could get them on tape.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I got the thing running. This is trash here, isn't it?
Well, we'll be talking here, yelling from one to the
Oh,
other.
yeah.
Your Mike's gonna hit the sack early too because you get up that
Well,
early.
that's
Mark.
right. Well, now listen, you're not gonna hit the sack. Before you hit the sack, you're gonna get all your stuff ready.
Yeah, as I say, we load up the car.
That's
You gotta
right.
put the car out front.
Get all your stuff ready.
Yeah, I can put the stuff in the car where it is. I'll just drive around in the morning because I don't want to leave it out there.
Oh.
It's probably okay, but I just hear those cars zooming by in the middle of the night.
Well, we
It's
just
weird.
have a layover before you get the plane. Oh, you just have an hour.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
we had an hour in between, but that was in Cincinnati. I don't know what it is in Atlanta. You know, it's a bigger airport.
Yeah.
By the time we walk all the way down to the gate we're supposed to get, it can take a while, you know.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
I'm full. Jeez.
I got it going, but I don't have a subject.
Yeah.
It's getting away.
And when you don't have it, you forget about doing that sort of thing. That's when she started blabbing.
Yeah, because when I came up, I wanted to maximize the trip up here because who knows if I ever come be able to come back up here. You know.
That's I guess you had to remote control because you all just sit there, you can take it right away, take it on. You know,
Well, says Ann and the rest of them don't know Aunt Margaret here.
yeah,
They'll be this
yeah, they don't know
together.
you that well.
What's that?
They got a kiss.
Huh?
They got a kiss. And, I mean, no, Ann knows you, but I mean, the little kids like Lizzie and Paul and Bobby.
Yeah.
You know.
Ann hadn't met her though. I mean, she might have talked to her on the phone or something.
Yeah.
Who's Anna?
My younger sister.
Ann Marie.
Your younger sister.
Yeah,
Oh.
Anne Marie.
Marie.
She's 1 year younger.
Well, you were around when I was to make that visit, that one day visit.
Yeah, you talking about down there? Yeah, I remember talking to you at Dad's place. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it's been a while back though.
Yeah.
That's why I realized that she knew a lot about the history
Yeah.
that you didn't.
See, that's why Ann would have to keep in touch with Rose. She was
Really?
always keeping in touch with Rose, yeah. You used to call her every now and then.
Well, the last time then I didn't call Anne Marie because I'll tell you she was mad at you.
Oh,
And,
man.
Yeah, why didn't you call? She's mad at me, not at you.
I didn't know, but I mean, David, I talked to David, her husband,
Oh, yeah.
and he said she's in a bad way because her and her daddy had a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I won't call for a while till it smooths down, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I called a couple of times, Tom.
Yeah?
Yes, I did. You know I called.
That's
And
what-
Donald, you know when Donald called, when he had the few beers under his belt.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And he'll tell you, I said, got a few beers under my belt, and then we talked. The last time we talked, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he likes to talk long
I
too.
thought we'd never get off the line.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna talk every month, you know, but by the time we get done talking at one time, that bill's too high, I just forget about the every month business. And he's the one that told me that the zip code was changed over here.
Oh, it
And
is
she
it?
didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's the one, he said he'd have been up here already. You know, sell the trailer, because he has nobody down
Yeah,
here.
yeah, nobody there.
No, and I said I would never ask Tom because, I mean, you all are there, you know, but
Yeah.
some of his family and grandchildren and everything. But like, he has nobody there.
Yeah, those kids.
And he said he'd have been up here already if it wasn't that his insurance is where he works.
Oh, yeah.
And
really?
he'd lose it.
Yeah.
And he has to be going to the hospital back and forth.
Right.
He said he can't afford those bills, you know.
That's right.
So that's why he's there. Yeah.
Yeah, because when they were talking up to when we came up together, I forget what it was.
Yeah.
He was up and he came in a little bit after me.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, we were here. He said, well, I can live with this. You know, he could move back.
Yeah.
Then he had
Yeah,
his son and stuff out. So
In fact, there's a man in church, Robotchik. Do you remember the Robotchiks?
yeah, oh yeah.
He always asks us about Donald, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and that.
Donald's, he's about 70, isn't he?
No, I'm 72.
No.
He's
I guess
68,
I
I
think
think.
he's 68.
Yeah, I think he's 60. I think he's 4 years.
Oh, really? Oh,
apart. I thought it was 2 years apart, but he's 4 years apart. Yeah.
Wow, that's.
Yeah, he said no, it's farther than that. It's 4 years apart. Because I think his birthday's on June 3rd, I think, something like that.
It's in June with me. It's in
Yeah, I always remember his birthday for some reason. I don't know why I remember his. I don't know anybody else's. But June 3rd, so he always his birthday.
She's a lot younger than Joe. Then Laura was a couple years older than you.
Yeah, it was me and Laura and then Joe.
You were closer in age to Laura than you would
Yeah.
Don.
Well, Don was the youngest. I was the next to the youngest.
Yeah.
We Don, me, and he was the youngest. Don, me, and then Laura, and then it was Joe, I guess. Then Aggie, John, and Margaret. Margaret's the first one.
So Margaret's first. Who's second?
John.
John is second.
Johnny
Well,
was
we
second.
had a sister, Helen.
Oh, well, she died as a little baby, but she was still a baby.
So
And then John came.
so Helen was first. You were first.
Me,
Helen was
and
second.
then Helen, then John. And then Agnes, and then Evelyn, and then Joseph,
Okay.
Donald, not Donald, Larry,
Larry, then me.
and then you, and then Donnie.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know where Evelyn fit in, even after Aggie.
Well, she was after Agnes.
After Aggie. That's what she just said.
Yeah.
So I got that straight and I never knew
Are you
it.
gonna use this jar?
What? I don't need the jar, I'll take it back down the basement, I guess.
Uh-huh.
That's a good little jar. You know.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take it home with? Oh no.
No, I
you
have
don't
jars.
wanna
I got mayonnaise jars. I got jars coming out of my ears.
know. Yeah. Yeah. How we used to wash those jars, and then put them in the oven so they would dry. So make sure when we put the
Well,
food
that's
in,
dry and
that it
sterilized.
wouldn't spoil to sterilize it. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Down the
How we
basement.
worked around here, I'll tell you.
Then we sit
For
there.
food and
See, I
everything.
said that's what I was packing. I forget. I used the pickles. You know, you have to tuck them in and line them up. I was to get them. You get more into the jug. You know, you just roll them in. Get more in the jug, line them up. That's where it cut my thing. But of course, you know, that jar we had to throw it all away, whatever it was, because
Yeah.
the blood, the glass would have been in the
Oh,
pickle and
yeah,
stuff, so
yeah.
we took throw it away. Yeah, she didn't take any chances. And then the wash tub like she had down there, that's where we put them in. She put a towel or something on the bottom so they wouldn't touch each other. Set the jars in and put it in there. Whole pack. And then then you take these and then tighten it up for a little bit, then you took this off. And this would be, they'd be on their vacuum seal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you wouldn't have to buy as many of these, you always buy
Oh, every
these.
time it sucked one in, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And with that hot, as it cooled, it would suck it in.
Oh, yeah, I bet it would.
And same with tomatoes and stuff, that worked the same way. And what else you did? You used to green peppers. Yeah, pop
You know,
like
my
peppers.
daddy never ate with us. My mother would get so mad. Remember, Pop
Really?
never ate with us.
He did?
And never.
He would eat back there.
And
He didn't like the
the
noise.
mom would say, the kids are slopping everything up. He says, that's all right, that's all right. When we got all up in there, he'd take all the plates, clean them off, put it on his plate, and eat it.
You go back here and
He
eat.
never ate with us. And then if we ate it, he'd say, let them eat it, let them eat it. He loved those cold-packed tomatoes and rye bread and butter, and he had it made.
I had a meal. That thing and
Yeah, my daddy never ate
They
with
were real
us.
good. Yeah.
We came first with everything with our parents. Yes, we did. And we were
I
poor.
wonder why I didn't want to eat with you. I mean, I thought y'all be a big family.
Too much
thing.
noise.
Too much noise.
Really?
Hey, yeah, and then don't forget there was like 9, and they only the ones in a little. Well, no, it had a big. We had a bigger table.
Bigger table, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still in here, though, right?
Big round
Trying to
table.
clean.
Well, yeah, you know the kids will be fighting and arguing and everything else, you know.
You go back and you eat with us, but you go back and
Yeah.
there was a table in there.
In the
so
pantry, yeah.
Oh, there
You'd
was?
sit there. A table's a table in the pantry. You'd sit there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, hell, sometime I'd rather eat there too. It's nice and quiet. You can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Some other just a big family thing. Everybody sat around. No, he didn't even
Yeah,
want
but
to eat.
everybody else sat around the table. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Christmas, Easter, especially, Easter, the holidays. You did with this yet to eat this.
Yeah, the mom would say, well, it's the holidays and all that.
Yeah.
But he would eat with us on the Leah and that. They were all
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Because
What's
we'd
that?
say prayers. Yeah.
And Easter.
Like Christmas Eve,
Christmas Eve.
special dinner.
Yeah, special day.
hmm
Yeah, there was special
They made
dinners
it once a
for
year.
Easter and Christmas, yeah.
Well, Easter was the basket, the siddick and the hard-boiled eggs and all that.
Yeah, the
And
siddick.
Christmas
I made-
was
they
the
tasted
mushrooms, the pierogi,
Yeah.
the rice,
The green beans.
the green peas,
Peas.
the dry ones and
Yeah, the
that,
green-
bread, the homemade bread,
Yeah.
and the platkes,
Yeah, platy.
What the heck is that?
a Holy Communion.
What's a plot key?
Yeah, that's it, a
It's spread
platke.
with the-
It's a square like this here, and it's like when we received Holy Communion.
That's like a wafer of some sort?
Yeah, it was but they were square like this.
Yeah,
And
but
we
they
put
weren't
honey
cut
on
out yet.
Oh,
They weren't cut out yet.
Yeah.
The holes were printed on them, but they weren't cut out. It was in a
Yeah.
big square yet.
Just, it was a lot of tradition, you
Yeah,
know.
oh, yeah, I can tell.
It was
Yeah.
the same bread that they made holy, except they
So, yeah, and see, Larry and them, they
Yeah,
remember that they were living
they
next
did.
door, you know.
they didn't pop out the hosts. They had big hosts and little hosts.
Yeah.
Pop them out.
Well, you'd have to.
Like die
They were cut out with a die, I guess.
Yeah.
But they would sell that on.
Yeah, see, then they blessed them and all that,
Yeah.
they say was the body and blood of our Lord
Yeah,
Jesus
then
Christ.
it
But
said
these
big
weren't
sacrifice.
blessed, you
Oh, I know
these
that.
were
These are just regular old.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was unleavened bread and with a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And see, that's what the Jews have it, because the matzi balls, you know the matzi crackers, don't you?
I've heard that name before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
matzo ball.
yeah, that's what they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unleavened bread.
Now don't forget, Christ was Jewish, so was Mary.
That's right.
Oh,
His
imagine.
mother was Jewish, we were all
They
Jewish.
were all Jewish.
Yeah, we became Gentile at the Last Supper. There's the Last Supper right there. When he instituted the
And
body
actually,
and
the
the
Last
blood
Supper,
and
they didn't
and
sit
the
around
holy
like that.
Eucharist bread and all that. That's when he this year. And see, that's the best. Just that couple of minutes. But who's going to go to church just for a couple of minutes like that?
Me.
So the law. See, the church can change any
They
kind
changed
of
all
law,
that stuff.
but
That's
they
like saying,
cannot
I'll see
change
you.
the words of God's law.
Yeah.
So they, made it like, so that it would be last longer, you know,
Yeah, but
with
they-
prayers and ask God for forgiveness and help and,
Yeah.
you know, things like
Yeah,
that.
but
yeah.
they like to redo the laws, sit their own little law.
All right, Tom.
Yeah,
Hush,
well, I saw a lot of these histories on TV, you know.
hush, hush.
And actually, if you come down to it, now you're so accurate. The disciples, they didn't have Last Supper like that. You know that? Because at that time they didn't sit and eat at tables like chairs like we do. They laid down. They had those benches and stuff, that's the way. That's the way.
I don't know.
And that's what they said. Well, they couldn't have eaten that way because they didn't have that set up. It was everything was set up to lay down and eat. You know, like you see the pharaohs lay down and eat the grapes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what they did. They'd spend all day at the table. You know, there'd be a lot of wine, dude. There's always a lot of wine. And bread and stuff you passed around and stuff. Yeah. That's the tradition was, and they didn't break tradition. He stuck pretty much to tradition, God did, Christ did, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you went to Catholic school.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear of that, Michael?
Yeah, I went for in the first and the second grade, and also
Yeah.
one fifth grade. But other than that, that was my whole stint in Catholic schools.
And Marie and them, they went, how many?
They went
They went
on
almost the whole thing, yeah.
in Illinois, just first and second grade, and then fifth at St. Teresa's, and that was it. St. Teresa's wasn't as tough as the
Yeah.
first and second grade ones. The nuns were pretty mean in first and second grade. There was a lot of nuns.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't as many when now there's only the one.
Well, see, there were shortage of nuns too, that's why part of that stuff was going on. Because we'd have to pick them up, and me and your mother, we'd go to the nunnery, pick them all up and bring them back down here, and then go to the grocery store to pick up groceries to fill up the... You know,
Yeah.
so far, so they took them out of poverty, I didn't. Some of them were nice. It's like everything else, even in the Catholic school, there were some little mean suckers that usually, and it was usually a little shorty. And then the nicer ones, like, everybody liked them. You know, I mean, they learned they got just as much done. You know, being nice as the one being strict as well. So they call it being strict. But some are just downright mean.
Yeah, right. Mean.
Yeah, I had a big punishment. You go like in first grade, we didn't have kids. You go to first grade, you're in it. They put you in the sandbox. There was a sandbox to play in the back of the school. Make you sit in the sandbox. Too bad for punishment, you know.
Yeah, you got a sandbox.
And you had the table was like it was a double desk, so two people sat in the same thing.
Sitting there cleaning up.
That looks good.
Time's a 7:15
Yeah.
p.m. So what I want to hear is the early stuff. I want to hear like the parent story of the parents, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the Holiday's coming over and about how old and all that kind of stuff, and who came over first and all that stuff. You know.
Yeah, she went over and got it. Went
Yeah,
to
she
the archives and that stuff. She knows all this.
Did you wash your rocks?
I washed them too, so they've been washed pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't have to wash it; they're pretty sharp.
Did you see how nice and shiny coal is when it's clean? Look at how goldy that
yeah,
is.
it's clean, yeah.
You got a lot of sharp edges on there.
Yeah. And if you start breaking, it'll keep on breaking. You don't touch it.
Yeah, leave it the way it is.
Leave it the
that's
way
what
it
they
is, because then they'll get all in front because I'll try that outside. Yeah.
You see, that's what the breaker was, to take that down and break it down and break it down and break it down. If we get bigger pieces, little pieces, they like peat coal. Yeah, peat coal and rice coal, they would be finer and finer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, finer and finer cut. They were actually screens to break it down.
Depending on how.
And like she said, they were working in a breaker, they picked the slate out, which is just black.
The regular Rocco's growing
Yeah.
around it.
And they crack it, depends if they need to crack it, they crack those big pieces. Like up there, they found a piece half the size of this room. Just fill it up. They were sitting in front of the banks.
Yeah.
What did they do with that big piece of coal they had up there?
Up where?
Remember they had it in front of one of the banks? This big piece?
It's not in front of the bank, it's in front of the senior citizens.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
up there.
Yeah, they moved it. Okay.
No, they didn't move it, it's still up there.
Oh yeah, well I
But
thought
not
that
by the bank.
was, I thought it was a bank.
Yeah, well, see, I've been here.
I hadn't been there in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a big, huge, just
Just a fun about
big, a
that.
lot, about twice as big as that ornament that's up there. It's big, huge head.
Oh yeah.
Just a fun got that up
Oh
there.
yeah? I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
What is that?
Just a minute. It was a restaurant or something.
No, the drugstore.
No, the drugstore, yeah, it's okay, just,
Oh,
yeah, all right. There was another drugstore and a bakery right up there next to it. Hardware stores. There was a hardware store right up there where the bank is there down the road. There's a hardware store, the bakery, and a lot of stuff. That was a McCann's restaurant. What? There was a restaurant there. We used to hang out there. He's the in there, a little fat kid in there. I guess he took it over as their closed down. But we used to hang out there, get an 8-bomb or something like that. Drink a lot of Coke. So. It's like Schweers, so we used to go to drink beer and play darts. Sometimes I'd see one of my teachers over there. They'd be doing the same thing. They'd come with all the kids, a lot of kids over there. They'd be dancing.
Kids to be over there drinking beer.
Yeah. It was right back in the middle of mine, so I'd leave the place and still there. The old guy, it was just a hangout. Nobody got in trouble, nobody, got stoned over and jumped and started taking fights or anything. I never saw it. Some get real stoned. I had no idea what they looked like if they got stoned. But
oh, yeah.
I never saw it. Once in a while you see somebody coming out of Kosciuszko a little bit stoned.
I give you an idea.
Yeah.
That's what I got in the street.
But I've never seen anybody else. Yeah, that is odd. I never thought about that. That was odd. I never saw anybody get stoned. Because when you drink, we didn't drink to get stoned. We just drank to watch TV and play darts. It was more of a social gathering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you didn't guzzle. Oh my gosh, you had $1, right? You could drink all night. For 10 cents.
Yeah.
10 cents a shot. And it'd take you an hour or 2 hours just to drink that one glass of beer. And you would be only gone about 2 hours, maybe 3. There was a pizza place we used to go to. You could buy a pizza by the slice. They had booths. You could buy pizza by the slice. Yeah. And they had a jukebox where you could dance. Kids, a lot of kids would go. We had 4 places for kids to hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Then they had another place called Teen Corners. They didn't sell booze or anything. They sold like lime rickies. It'd be like lime soda,
Yeah.
thick with ice and stuff like that. A lot of candy and stuff. And they served some kind of foods, but they were just like a fast food thing. If you wanted one, Cokes and stuff like that. There's a booth. Play records on the jukebox.
Oh, yeah.
They asked, they were opening a restaurant. They went to school and asked to try to find a name for it, So they come up with Teen Corners.
Yeah, it sounds pretty tame.
Well, it was a place to go. See a lot of dances. Churches would always put on all kinds of dances. Like she was talking, we'd go pack of dances to polka. They busted it because they like the band would do like 5 songs of modern, couple slow songs and fast songs, and then a set. They call it a set, a set, and then they do a set of polkas. Then modern polkas.
Big polka area around here.
Yeah. And even the churches all had polka dancing. I was telling Weidick up north, the only polka they know is the beer barrel polka, that's it.
The only popular ones. What polkas, is it like just a Slovakian thing, or is it, this whole area?
Well, what do you call it that? No, Polish had that too, Greeks, the Italians, you had polkas. You were all over the place. And then even the Jewish, the Siswines in Senator was a furniture store. They sponsored a whole polka program, a half-hour polka program on Sunday afternoons.
Really?
Yeah, Siswines in Senator, polka time, and what they started.
Really?
Yeah, they'd have the bands and all that stuff. Some of it wasn't refined, but you had to have a lot of technique to play the damn things. A lot of them. The clarinets every day with a lot of technique and some of that stuff. Yeah. Like if you look to some, I don't know if you played any of those that you gave me on those CDs.
Yeah. I went there once.
Some of them, it takes, and with the saxophone too, a lot of techniques, like clarinet, sax, cornet sometimes.
Yeah.
And that Myron Ford, he's on there with the accordion. You don't have to have accordion, some have them, some don't, but he has a lot of technique has to do with polka. In fact, when we went to Korea, we had a polka band. We had a dance band. Mark, he took over that because he could do he was doing the dance arrangements. We had the concert band, the dance band, and then we had a polka band. There's a couple of guys from they were Polish and stuff, and they played the polka bands at home, so with the clarinets and stuff and things. And sometimes they play some old pop music, the German music, German folk, I mean German polkas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mozart had polkas too. They wrote polkas.
Jeez.
Different styles and stuff. Yeah, the different places, all classical. There were a lot of classical polkas.
Never even thought about it. You're not gonna find it in the South, that's for sure.
No, that's right. You don't find
If
it.
you can find anything. I don't know if what I found was a good representation. That was the only thing I could find in the whole town.
See, the different people settled down there. The different groups. See, like up here was the Polish and Greeks and all that. They all had polkas and stuff. The Italian, a lot of Italians.
Yeah.
A lot of Jewish there that was that owned all the stores, you know. Not all of them, but you know, they set up a lot of stores.
Yeah.
Like Gus, he did the Italian photographers. They were more the artists with the bands and stuff like that.
You know, I was looking in some of those books up there where the last name is Voitko.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how
We used Weidick all the time. I was baptized Weidick.
yeah, how did Weidick get in
They
there?
changed it when they came over here.
Who changed it?
Smudges. Did you looking at that thing? The
I'm talking
Slovaks?
about the name Weidick. How did it get to be Weidick when I see Voitko written down?
Oh. Well, see, when the immigrants were coming here, they couldn't understand each other. The immigrants and the ones that were letting them come into the country. And so they spelled the names like the way they sounded to them.
Really?
In order to get into the country, you know, they had to
Oh,
sign who it is, you know.
Good.
And that's how it came. Instead of what's going on, I don't know who it was, that it seemed like it sounded W-E-I, you know.
Really?
And in the Slovak language, there is no W in our alphabet.
There isn't?
But it's in the Polish.
Really?
But I mean, like it's Weidick, you know, and there is no W because we're Slovak, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's how a lot of names got mixed up, and people got mixed up. And because I mean, it was all foreigners coming in this country,
Yeah.
Polish and Slovak and Irish and all that stuff, and everybody with a different brogue and everything. So it was hard for those.
And they had to go to Ellis Island.
And they had to go to Ellis Island, and they would stay there overnight sometimes. And if they had like a disease or something, they had to have a doctor to examine them, because some of them never entered the country because they weren't healthy, and they sent them back.
Well,
So that's the way it was coming in
I
here.
mean, so if it was Weidick, whose side of the family did that come in? I mean, it was.
It was for Pop's side.
It was Pop's side of the family.
Well, so their original name was Voitko.
Voitko Weidick, yeah.
That's V-O-J?
B-O-J-T-K-O.
Yeah.
V-O-J-T-K-O. Okay.
I remember one time we were out, Rose and I don't know who else, and we got talking about names with John and all that. Our Rose is like a little fruity, you know what I mean? Like a little, how should I say about her? Like she's kind of it or something. I don't know how to explain it to you. She has that attitude about her, and you know, I don't think she even knows it. You know, that's the way she
was more or
is.
less the uppity girl.
Yeah, like one of
Jenny name.
And so one time we were talking about names.
names.
Yeah, and one time we were talking about names, and she said, "Well, I'm glad the name, whatever, the way it came about, that it's Weidick instead of Voitko."
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't like that name. I said, "Well, what was wrong with that?" "Well, you know, she went like that." And I don't blame her at all, but I blame my brother. That he didn't say, "Well, now listen, that's my name." It was on his birth certificate.
Yeah.
He didn't defend himself.
Yeah.
John got just like Rose later on. Yeah.
Huh.
When you lived together, you know, well, it was
Yeah, but
wives they had to get along.
up at the Catholic school up there,
It was
half of those people though, when they left the St. Joe's, they got to call it to high school, or what do you call it? Their name wasn't that anymore. They didn't have the Polish name or the good Slovak name.
Yeah.
They changed it. You could do Yalosha, they would change to Janicek.
Yeah.
They would change all that stuff.
That's
up.
right. Yeah.
And then
Yeah. See, my father was American born,
Yeah.
but my mother was
and they said
it says Austria and Hungary. I mean, it used to be
it used to be one place.
the part that they took, there was wars and everything, and
back then.
But anyhow, when any of them died, I got they said from Austria-Hungary they had it. You remember in the paper, yeah.
So the dad was just Slovakian.
And my father was Slovak, and my father was Greek.
Slovak and Greek. It's saying that thing on the internet. It's Slovak and Greek.
Slovak and Greek.
Yeah, it's Slovak and Greek.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's why I said we had we had 2 Christmases, 2 Villias, you don't remember that. 2 Christmases, 2 Villias, 2 Easters, 2 of everything. And that means Baba was baking bread and the kolache and the pies and the cakes. And boy, we had everything two.
Well, she started 2 weeks ahead of time.
Sure.
She was in there cooking.
Sure, and coconut bread, you know, break the coconut and peel it, and then, oh, that was hard to grate that coconut on that grater that we have right there. Like that. Oh, yes, yeah. And the coconut and the nuts we had to peel, and then we had the grinder to grind the nuts. Yeah. And the poppy seed, it was like a coffee grinder. Remember, it was square.
You can buy a small like that. I bought a small
one. The poppy seed, and because you know what poppy seed is so small. Yeah. And we ground that up there till it like broke all those little seeds. And then my mother would put in eggs and sugar and milk.
Well, she just
spread it on the bread.
Well, she just spread it on the bread. She made little round balls.
Yeah, like little golf, just like this.
Yeah, and then we'd have it all played out there.
All played out, and then she'd mix that and then put it over the babaki and stir it up. Oh God, that's good.
And yeah, that's just this bread that to make. She had a tub this big. She made bread. She to knead it. You know.
Yeah, it would be right there in that corner there when we had a chimney in there.
It was a big tub.
When we were using that.
And she put the rag over, and when it rose, she'd have knock it down. Instead of making a little thing, it was a big tub. And she'd make the bread. I don't know if the bread pans are still down there. Big, they were made, but she made them round. You know, big, lots of.
Yeah. And then she started making them, the square ones are down there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not the round ones are down there. No, I think they've already been broken.
So I tried to get some of those when I was here the last time. I couldn't carry all that junk.
Yeah. And see, that's why it was all good homemade eating. No preservatives, no this, no that.
Yeah, and she said, you know,
everything the farmers would bring around from the earth. They filled it up like in the morning, and they would be peddling it, you know. Wasn't laying in a store and going through the machinery and spraying and all that stuff. Yeah. See, that's the difference.
Zeta would always pick mushrooms for you.
Yeah.
And she'd take the mushrooms and she'd, what she did, she cut them in like strips and get sewing thread and make rings with the mushrooms in it and hang it behind the cold stove. It was, you know, that was always warm, and dry it. Then she dried and put it up. When we wanted it, we'd put it in water like you buy at the store. You could buy dried mushrooms. Yeah, Zeta always bought the big. We could pick mushrooms. We picked the wrong ones and poisoned ourselves.
Yeah, you have no mushrooms.
Yeah, he always come in. He could pick that stuff from home.
So whenever you say Zeta,
it's Grandpa, the old Grandpa.
That's what it means. Cause
that little skinny guy that you were in that picture.
What skinny guy?
Well, do we have a picture of Zeta?
Huh?
I don't think we have a picture of Zeta, do we?
Yeah, the family picture there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Yeah, you see the family picture.
You're talking about the one I brought down, the big one?
Yeah, with the boy in between Tom and then Zeta and Baba.
But isn't that your mom's family? Not your dad's family?
Yeah, that's my mom's family. Yeah, we don't have nothing of my dad's family.
Oh, really?
No, we don't have any grandpa and anything on his side. We never knew them.
Okay, well,
yeah, Mike took everything, you know. I mean, he was the baby and he inherited everything. And
Zeta, they didn't give nothing to Pop.
Yeah, not to Pop or to Aunt Anna or to Uncle Andrew.
Yeah.
They didn't get nothing. He gave everything to Mike, the baby, and then there was bitterness in the family.
Yeah, there was.
So how many? So your dad was Joseph, but I mean, how many kids were in that family? I mean, that's a flashlight. I mean, you're talking about.
How many kids?
My family, they had 4, 3 girls.
Zeta.
Huh?
Maybe how many kids in Zeta's family?
No, he meant him from Pop's family.
Pop's family.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, how many was there? I mean, there was
well, there was Aunt Anna and Uncle Mike, Uncle Andrew, and I think there was 3 girls, no, 3 boys and a girl. I think it was a small family. It wasn't like Zeta with the holiday.
I don't remember any of them. I just remember Mike and some of the others, but I don't remember any girls and stuff.
But see, I don't remember either because I was just a little kid too.
Yeah, I never knew who they were.
So they all didn't come over. So did some of them come over already, or some of them were born here?
They were all born here.
All of them were born here.
Yeah, except of course my grandmother, grandfather, my father's people were born there, but my father and the kids were all American born.
So they came over here, then had.
It was their own name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in there, Papa Slovak and Greek in that thing.
Yeah, they were already Weidicks here. You know, because from when the other family came, they were changed to Weidick. You know, another family came. Well, they already had that name.
No kidding, already?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they came first.
So
And then the other generation came, and my father from that generation.
Yeah, but some of them was spelled W-I-D-I-C-K. So.
Well, it's the way they spell it, yeah. But remember when to school they changed the Y,
the Y-I.
E-I to Y, or the Y to E-I.
Really?
W-E-I-D-I-C-K or W-Y-D-I-C-K. But C. Rose has on the tombs all that W-E-I-D-I-C-K.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, they always say the Weidick. And that Don will always get P.O. He says, E before the I.
Oh, yeah.
He says, it's not E's an hour, it's I's an hour.
I've got lots to do upstairs.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I gotta say my prayers.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you
okay.
all have a lot to do yet. You better get started. Because I don't want you to be late and running around at the last minute.
Yeah, because we're going to pack and everything up for you.
Yeah, we'll probably need to get.
So I'll be up there with Mike and back and forth up at that steps up there.
Yeah, I'll stop messing with some of that stuff.
Yeah, and on that website though, they always have to tell you our names on. You have to look way down because there's lots of people with all the names looking for people. You know, if anybody knows who's such and such, that they heard the name.
That's what that was. That was that about. I think Mom was posting to find out if anybody knew. She knows a lot of websites like that. She was trying to find more information, so that was just her post on the Slovak website to see if she would get anybody would email her.
And they start playing Slovak music too because things start that. Yeah, I was surprised Emery forwarded it to me. You know.
Yeah, because Mom was trying to run some of that stuff down.
What really surprised me was seeing that Weidick thing right there. I'll be darned.
That's what I'm trying to run down is just that kind of stuff, because I don't know.
You know, see, she went over there twice to find all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but what I understand was Zeller, like he slept in the barn to save his money, so it was cheaper to save enough money to bring them over.
Bring the rest of them over.
Yeah. He came over by himself, and then he brought his wife and everybody else.
So you said that your mom, Anna, and another baby or two he brought over first.
Yeah,
His wife.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could be confused too, you know.
He could be confused too. So I'm trying to get the information from what she remembers. She's 90. I mean,
yeah, she remembers more.
Back
a lot of that stuff I wouldn't even born yet, what she knows, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No ice. See, we're opening up too damn much. That's what it is. This refrigerator, I don't think hasn't been opened up for weeks. The way it's been opened up for 4 or 5 days. I mean, we're all at it. You know what I mean? You do and I do. They take one out, put one in, take one.
That's what we forgot.
I'm surprised we're not thawing out.
That's what we forgot. I said, get her a big 50-pound bag of ice.
Yeah, the ice.
Yeah, we can still go up there and
so
do
there's
it.
no ice. That's it.
Yeah, we can still go up there and do it.
Yeah.
Big 50-pound bag of ice.
Am I in the way of something over there? My wire in the way?
Look at that.
No,
My God, did I make that big a mess over there?
No, I don't know.
This carpet shows dirt, man. This carpet shows everything.
I didn't want red. Mom wanted red. I didn't want red. Mom wanted red.
The regular black is bad.
No, I wanted like a dotted, like, you know,
yeah, so
in between black and red, yeah,
you can't see the
red
dirt.
and rather gray.
Yeah, gray.
Gray, white, and black mixed up. I mean, I better get out of here. Talking to her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quit smoking.
That's it. That's what it is.
It's a smoker's cough, boy. Yeah, my mom used to call it a chimney.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did your mom smoke?
No.
Your mom didn't smoke?
Oh, God help me. Yeah, I'm on the verge. Years ago.
Yeah, see, I get that. Now, how come I get all that spit coming out of me, that stuff in my throat, and I got to throw it up? And they even used to give me a spit cup.
Yeah.
And now I don't have any spit to use a spit cup.
Yeah. I'm a listening, Tom. I'm a listening.
That little piece of bread, I throw it away.
What are you gonna say?
She goes
What are you
upstairs.
saying now? What are you saying about me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what was it?
They're talking about the no, it's funny to think there's something else she used to do there.
So what she used to do?
Yeah. Her and Mom, two Galavanters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she got Mom together, really. She and Mom doing everything under the sun.
What?
You and Mom, they were always the big buddies.
Yeah, I made Mom, I mean, well, Mom would have never been anywhere if it wasn't for me.
I know.
Really? She just
But then,
I was always with, you know.
Yeah.
Then when we went to Florida and I was home and helping with this, I asked Pop, I said, Pop, why don't you come along with us? No, he wouldn't. He was sitting at the time. He wouldn't go nowhere.
Really?
yeah, but then Mom got him to go out and eat and all that stuff, and he was starting to enjoy it. Mom said, he's really enjoying that stuff now. You're getting out and doing that, messing around the house.
Yeah.
And then he passed.
Oh, she.
Just when they could have had a good, got rid of all of us, you know what I mean?
Having a good time by themselves.
And they used to go down the farm and come home with apples, you know, just little things like that, take a ride. He died. That's the end. So see, that's how it always
Yeah,
is.
see, from that point on, Mom would always be wanting to die.
Yeah.
She's always praying to die because she's here alone. You know,
Oh, really?
Pop, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you already wiped that off once.
No, it's sticky.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. You know what I think? I never used to be so. I think this humidity or something making everything sticky.
Really?
Because I mean, I'm always wiping everything and yet always everything is sticky.
Really?
Like, yeah. Oh, this house will never be like it was, Tolman.
Well,
I was home.
it's in better shape though, don't forget than it was then. Because Mom had house cleaning. Oh, now there's a gym. Take everything
Get
outside.
on the roof and clean the windows and everything.
Yeah.
Boy, I wouldn't even stick my head out that. Oh, come on.
Well, the house cleaning, we take everything out of every room. All the clothes that hang on the little clothesline, the beds, everything. The springs, hose them down, wash. They had special brushes to wash inside the springs and dry that out. Everything. The floors and everything else. That was house
The
cleaning.
furniture is back in.
Oh yeah. It was all clean and smelled fresh.
I'll bet.
Yeah. Everything. Out down the line.
Out
All the
line.
clothes from the closets, everything had to be out there. Drag it all out, and then we did with the carpet, with the beater. We did. They had a carpet beater. Bang, bang,
Yeah.
to beat all the dust out of it, out of the rugs. Yeah. She did have a big vacuum cleaner, that big old Hoover, but it's a big sucker, man.
Well, I still have it right there. It is.
That big one?
Yeah, there it is. You're right behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at it.
No, they had the other one. She had a big motor on top like that, sitting right on top.
Big motor on top.
Yeah, black and silver.
Oh, really?
Boy, that was sucking.
Some big ones. Some
Yeah,
really,
they could pick everything up, man.
some of the
It was
motor on
heavy.
top.
She used to drag that up, going downstairs, that big vacuum.
Wow.
But Mom, she was fairly strong from doing all this crap for all the kids and
Yeah.
stuff. But we got a lot away with a lot of stuff. All the cushions on the couch, we take that down. As long as we were all playing together. We make little houses underneath, make little tents and stuff. She had a house up and some stuff. We turned it over and put it on, turn the bench over, and make a horse out of it.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
I guess if you just listen to the whole story of the cleaning and all this other stuff, it's like life is just total drudgery, but apparently
Yeah.
there's still fun stuff to do besides just cleaning and cooking and,
Oh yeah.
and you know, all this
Yeah,
stuff.
as they got older, Pop started enjoying this. And like even up in Joe's room up here, those beds would be out. The springs, we wouldn't carry them all out this way. We'd just put them on the roof out there. See, the roof's over the porch here. We just get the spring out on that roof over there and hose it down and clean it all off.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, then let it dry out and then bring it back in.
You have to go all the way down.
Yeah, but everything, we had everything, all the drawers and everything else had to be cleaned.
Really?
Yeah. The house cleaning. We go through all that every summer, before the winter came.
Really?
Because the winter time, everything's closed up. You can't do any of that kind of stuff. Because like November, that's when she starts snowing. Then you wouldn't see the ground out till March
Yeah.
or April or something like that. Like sometimes you think it's gone, but then it's snow even more. But it was pretty. It was snow around Christmas time at night, and so it just come down. It'd be pretty out there.
You measure Yeah, I like the snow at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay at first.
Yeah, just don't get out and go. We used to go out and play and make snow house outside.
Yeah.
And they work. We used to make a thing, cut it out, get it inside. It's warm inside those things.
Yeah, a snow
A little
house.
snow.
It's working on something out there.
Yeah. See, we were able to make a snowman with real coal eyes.
Oh, yeah, real
the coal,
coal.
with the real eyes in there.
Yeah, from around here.
I didn't look like they polished that coal up like we see that jewelry. It's like, boy, I had more coal than the man in the moon down there. Which I didn't want to look at half the time because a bucket just like that would be up sitting in the hall here. Pieces of the stove. See, then at night they would bank the stove. In other words, so the coal would just burn out real hot. You bank it, lower it down and lower the draft. They cut it down, it would just simmer there. Oh, real nice. And like when that furnace, instead of being gas, was coal instead of being oil. I guess it's oil now.
It's all,
It was coal. But boy, you look in there, and the coal would burn. It would burn to look like gas in there. It was just a little tiny flame, but it's all nice and blue, pretty.
Oh yeah, just the coal burning.
Mm-hmm. That's when we first. That was a new design too. You know, putting those things in.
The coal
I don't
burners.
remember getting those in. Like, I was gone in Korea or someplace when they get back to the stuff. And I got a letter from Mom that we just paid off the house. Your last allotment check. And then she said, "Now we'll start putting money away for you." You know?
Oh yeah.
And she did. She saved a couple $1,000. So I get to Chicago and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, they paid for that.
Buy that flute, huh?
Oh, they paid for that.
Well, I had the money. I had the money saved. She had the money saved for me.
Oh yeah.